Rocky Mountain Construction, or RMC for short, is a rapidly growing company that is taking over the roller coaster industry by storm. There are several questions around RMC, but today I'm going to be answering the biggest one. What is RMC? For starters, RMC was founded in 2001 by Fred Grubb and his wife Suzanne. The company got off to a slow start in the early 2000s because there wasn't much work that needed to be done. Speaking of which, when Rocky Mountain Construction first opened, they were not a roller coaster company. They instead focused on just adding small physical details to parks and other establishments such as a rock feature or a water feature. But their future as a company would take a huge turn somewhere in the mid-2000s when Silverwood theme park called up RMC. RMC had been working for Silverwood for quite some time, but they had not been working on roller coasters, they had been working on rock features. But Silverwood needed somebody to build their new wooden roller coaster, so they called up RMC and they said, "Do you think you can do this?" RMC said, "Yes." And with that, RMC had secured their first project. After working on several other wooden roller coasters, RMC was struggling to stay afloat because they only had about 5 employees. Fred Grubb, who was the CEO and still is, thought there has to be a better way. He was referring to wooden roller coaster track. The reason why he said this is because wooden roller coaster track needs to be replaced and retracked very often to keep it in good working condition. The idea that Fred came up with was called the I-box track. The I-box track is very self-explanatory. It is an I-beam with a small box on one of the inside rails to form one of the rails that a roller coaster train can ride on. At first, nobody believed that this was possible. So, Fred Grubb went and he looked all over the entire industry to find one person who would believe in him and help him grow his concept into a thing that could really exist. That person was Alan Schilke. He decided to take Fred Grubb's idea and turn it into a reality. You see, Alan Schilke was a well-known roller coaster designer. He designed rides such as X2, which is an insanely famous ride that almost everybody in the industry knows about. Alan Schilke and Fred Grubb decided to take their idea to many different theme park chains to try to see if any of them wanted to take a chance on their new invention. The only one that seemed to have any interest was Six Flags Over Texas. They had a giant wooden roller coaster called the Texas Giant that needed something to be done about it. They couldn't imagine the park without it, but they also couldn't imagine running it the way that it is. So they decided to take a chance on RMC's I-box track and let them go ham. This turned out to be the best decision that they could have made because the Texas Giant became the new Texas Giant, and it became easily the best roller coaster in the entire park. After the new Texas Giant, many other parks saw the success of the transformation and wanted an RMC of their own. Several other parks over the next few years decided to convert their old wooden roller coasters into amazing new hybrid steel coasters. In 2018, RMC thought that there must be a way to give smaller parks a way to have a good airtime-focused ride, such as the ones that they were selling. Enter the Raptor. This is an alteration of the I-box track, where instead of having one of the rails be a box, 2 of the rails are a box, which means it only needs one large I-beam to serve as a rail. This means that it can go through much tighter and more aggressive maneuvers. This meant that it was also significantly cheaper, which meant small parks could have an intense, airtime-focused ride for a very, very cheap price. This was an amazing decision from RMC, and many parks now are enjoying an RMC Raptor. That pretty much sums up the history of RMC. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching.